Oh boy.
I'll try to get on.
Did you on grave and go by a tune? She eat up the dick and she don't use a spoon. Hop in the foreign and then it goes zoom. She too attached, think I need me some room. Talk about my bro, put be out at noon. They dumped me until I broke out my cocoon. If I catch him lacking, your homie is doomed. We clean this block, 30 shots out the broom. Half pace to pop out like it's toast. Hit that bitch once and I gotta go ghost. She see I got power, now she do the most. Internet gangsters get mad, make a post. Bet you I win, but my back is the road. Rockin' off white, so she think I'm the Pope. I jumped in the water, I knew I would float. You think you the best, and I'm killing the goat. Niggas was broke, all we had was hope. Bro hit the plug, all he had was dope. I get the last laugh if he think it's a joke. Say she got a friend, well I want them both. Ain't going to jail like me up in the booth. Talk out your mouth, then you might lose a tooth. Brody a scorer, all he know is shoot. I'm dropping the top, I think I lost my roof. Don't listen to him, he won't tell you.
What's good, everybody? Merry Christmas and welcome back to the channel. We got another episode coming at you today, this time going on the road to take on Stanford, looking for our 8th win of the season, and we're finally getting into Pac-12 North Divisional play. All we had played to this point was Pac-12 South opponents and people in the non-conference, so it's been a pretty interesting start. I don't think it's ever been this long since we finally played someone within our own division, but we have to win out in these last couple of games because our division is looking very strong. The Pac-12 standings, I think we'll take a look at those before the game. Very competitive this season, Washington State, and the like. But anyways, as we always start our episodes here, taking a look at the sliders, highs and everything, 8-minute quarters, penalty numbers set there, and the user and CPU numbers are right there as well. I'll put the link to these in the bio. They're the Jared 21 sliders, which are supposed to be very difficult. I haven't really had much difficulty this year for whatever reason. I've been tinkering with them a little bit, but, you know, whatever. Anyways, getting back into what we do before we get into it here, all the house cleaning things. Start with Heisman watch. McConnell's still in the top 5, but drops down to 3rd place after he had a pretty good game last week, 11 carries, 92 yards, and 2 touchdowns against Utah, but he barely played in the second half. So obviously, if you're not putting up the stats, it's going to be pretty tough to stay in the top 1 or 2 there, which is where he had been previously. Here are the conference standings. We will take a look at them. So as you can see, Washington, Wazoo, and Oregon are all still undefeated in conference play, and they have played some divisional teams. Oregon hasn't, but yeah, no, the end of the season is going to be really interesting. We didn't really get many competitive games in the first 7 of the year. Today's might be competitive, but I'm hoping down the stretch we do. Looking at the South, it looks like it's USC's conference, or division rather, to lose in the South. Arizona's right there at number 2. I'm hoping that somebody else could maybe pull it out there because we always play USC in the Pac-12 championship game, but it's unlikely because every time I ask for it, it just doesn't happen. So anyways, taking on Stanford today, a team that's 1-6, and we're better than them on paper. Lee Corso is rolling with us, but this is a team that has definitely given us some fits in the past. I'll tag last year's game right here with the highlights if you want to look at it. It was pretty competitive, but they're usually not that good, but they play us tough for literally no reason. The game just gets hyped up, I guess. I don't really know. Here's who they've played. They're actually not bad if you look at their losses to Wazoo, Washington, and Notre Dame, but all within at least 10 points. And they did get blown out by Penn State, but they did beat Arizona. No, they lost to Arizona State, excuse me. They beat Utah. That's who they beat by 28. Not a good Utah team as we saw. So 1-6, but better than advertised. On our side, we were perfect 7-0. We've got 3 ranked wins, Tennessee, Michigan, and USC, and we have a chance for more potentially with Washington and maybe even Wazoo and Oregon if they can continue to win. Looking at Stanford's team, their quarterback loves to turn the football over. 7 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Good running back. They usually have a pretty good running back and a good ground game. 6 per carry, 80 per game. Decent wide receiver, 80 per game, 17 per catch. And defensively, not much that sticks out. Guy with 2 picks, guy with 2 sacks. So nothing really to be scared of here from our side. One thing to note, their quarterback is their leading rusher and quarterback, so he's a dual threat guy. We're going to have to key in on that. Looking at Copeland, he's been really solid lately. 17 touchdowns, only 4 picks. McConnell's starting to get it going, about 6 per carry, 85 per game. James Parker is still our leading receiver, and Casey Williamson, our leading sack guy, with 6. So the team is certainly looking good, especially recently. Let's see if we can continue to dominate teams and win our Pac-12 North Division opener today. So offense on the field first in this one, as has been the case in the recent past, and we're coming out with the bubble screenplay. Whole lot of checking at the line of scrimmage, trying to find a seam in the defense, and we do. Parker comes open on the slant. That play, that bubble screen, is becoming a cheat play for us because we found out how to use it. We come back with the counter, though, and McConnell just gets blown up. There was a lane there, but we picked the wrong one, and they shut down that run game. So now 2nd and 12, and we hit Pennington underneath, just trying to get a couple of yards there to bring up a manageable 3rd down situation. We need 8 yards. We can get that. We go with the curl flats play, and Copeland is way off with the throw. He really struggled with the accuracy early on in this one. So that forces us to punt the ball. We caused the fair catch, but we don't really punt much at all, and especially not in our opening drive of the game. So a big stop for Stanford. They're coming out with the ground game, but Watkins is there for the big-time hit on 1st down. That, like I said, the quarterback is their leading passer and rusher, right? So they're probably going to be doing a lot of option stuff today. We got to be ready to shut that down. 2nd and 13, got it behind schedule. Another option play, cut up the middle, and he absolutely exposed us with Jude at the free safety position, and Howell picks up 19 right there. That's what I'm saying. You got to bottle this guy up because let him get out of the pocket. He's dangerous, and he'll make you miss in the open field. We do that time. Another big-time tackle for loss on the option. So now 2nd and 12, and guess what they're doing? You guessed it. Another option play to the right side, and Joel Anderson right there off of the edge to make the play. I was waiting for them to start passing the ball because they really weren't early on. They do here on 3rd and 15. We're in man-to-man coverage, and he's sacked. Coverage sack all across the board. Nobody open for him to throw to, and Casey Williamson gets his 7th sack of the season. He's our leading member in that statistic. So 4th and 22, and now Stanford has to punt it away. We would get it back. Pretty good starting field position up at the 45. Going with the bubble screen, we checked out of a run to get to that play, and we hit Pennington for a gain of 12. Now with deep curls play, can we catch him in man-to-man? Looks like zone. Copeland goes through the reads. He has 2 receivers open over there, but he instead throws it in the dirt between them. So now 2nd and 10. We call stick. Copeland slides in the pocket, finds Parker over the middle with the slant. That, Stanford was running a lot of cover 3 and a lot of cover 3 shells, so they were doing a lot of blitzing out of that coverage. So we did a lot of audibling, a lot of checking, and a lot of out routing today because they were giving us some pretty confusing looks. 4th and 1, we need a yard. We hand off to McConnell, and he gets the 1st down inside the 10, dragging tacklers with him. That's what we kind of did. We started the offense with the pass, and we sprinkled in the run every now and then because of that. And what do you do when they're applying so much pressure? You call up a screen. It's one of our audibles. We hit McConnell in the near side flat, evades the first wave of tacklers, and he gets into the end zone for a touchdown. So we take the 7-0 lead. Great response after stalling on the first drive. So Stanford faced with a 3rd down and 7, trailing 7-0. Let's see what kind of response they can drum up. They call up a draw on 3rd and 7, and Alston nearly got the 1st down, but Jared Hemphill was there to make the very difficult open field tackles. Those are probably some of the hardest tackles you could possibly have to make in this game. But 2nd and 2 for us, read option, that's shut down. Well done by Stanford defensively. So now 3rd down and 3, we check to the stick. That was our go-to play for the first half and pretty much the entire game because, like I said, Stanford's being so aggressive with the blitzes and the coverage and everything. We just exposed them with this play. So Parker with the big catch to put us deep into plus territory all the way up to Stanford's 33 roughly. Check to the curls play, about 20 seconds to go. Copeland checks it down to the flat for Haas, and he gets the 1st down over the 30-yard line up to the 26. And now we're sprinkling that run game back in. Base for McConnell, we get the pulling guard, and John fights up for a 10-yard gain. 2nd and inches, we would end up getting the 1st down. First play of the 2nd quarter, jet sweep, read option, keep for Copeland, gets the block ahead from Brewer, and he dives in, falls in for the touchdown. We go up 14-zip. So at this point, we're just in absolute cruise control. It's 14-0, doing everything right on both ends of the field. Now 3rd and 7. Can Stanford get anything going? Yes. Bruh. I cannot believe that play. Absolute cheese all around. I have no idea how that pass gets completed. Stanford gets a 1st down, but our defense continues to stack up on the ground game. Nothing the video game could do there to help out Stanford move the ball. Now 3rd down and 4. They want to set up this screen, and this glitch has been happening all season where the quarterback's waiting all day to throw the ball, and it's just not open. I don't really understand it. I don't know if it's a game thing or what the deal is, but they would get called for a pass interference offensively, so they would settle for a field goal. So Stanford does get on the board, 14-3, but our offense is back on the field, and we're just a well-oiled machine. Easy swing pass out to Pennington. Great throw by Copeland. Good touch and good speed by Pennington. Now back to the ground game with McConnell. We are unstoppable. We can get both phases going, and at this point, it's 5-on-5 in the box. We think we can win that matchup, especially with McConnell. Nifty spin there. So 2 straight runs from McConnell. Let's make it 3 straight. Let's give it right back to the guy. 5-on-5 again inside, and we win that matchup. If we're going to get 7 yards a pop in that situation, I'm just going to continue to run the football because we're getting the matchup we want. Now Stanford is stacking the box again, showing blitz with that safety. He's creeping down, so we want to go through the air. We check to a pass. Copeland dropping back, has time, and has Pennington open over the middle, and he gets in there somehow, some way. So a 20-yard strike from Copeland to Pennington, and we go up by 18. The offense is firing on all cylinders, and the defense is playing really well, too. We haven't really done this before. We've struggled in this stadium on the road against this team, but not today. Casey Williamson, big-time tackle for loss. He's having a great game so far, our team leader in sacks. Now a screen pass on 3rd and 8. Obviously, that's not going to work. I mean, at least make it tough for us. Come on now, Stanford. We'd shut that down. 5 yards for Alston, 4 yards short of the sticks. So we'd get it back via the punt return. And here's Carl Hollywood Wilson getting the blocks, getting down the sideline, beating him over the 45 and up to the 40-yard line. Great starting field position for this offense, which could start from anywhere on the field and probably score from there. Passing 2nd down and 12. We have Parker on the curl. That's a rare occasion because Stanford was running so much cover 3 in zone that those curls weren't really open. Another check to the bubble screen. We have Brewer wide open on the slant over the middle. Copeland doing a miraculous job hot routing and checking at the line of scrimmage. He does it once again here. Audible to that screen. We've already run it once. We're not going to run it twice, are we? No, sir, we are. There's McConnell down inside the 5, and he ran into the end zone, but out of bounds. So Copeland back on the field. 2nd and 1, QB power, gets the blocks, and he hits Paydirt. Big-time touchdown. So now 28-3, 3 minutes to go to the half, and you would think the Cardinals would just want to, or Cardinal, I guess, would just want to get to the half, down 25, and they consider that a W, but instead they come out passing, and Joel Anderson gets the sack off the edge, his 3rd tackle for loss in the first half, and 2nd sack. He's having a breakout season at that outside linebacker position, and their quarterback got hurt as well, so new QB in, 3rd down and 4. He swings it down to the flat, and their receiver, Jackson there, just gets enough to get the first down, 5 yards, but now 3rd down and 10. New quarterback faced with another critical situation, rolling out of the pocket, and he gets the slant route open over the middle. Beautiful catch by that guy Jackson, too, reaching back to grab it. So, and another slant there. So this backup quarterback is slinging it all over the field, and I don't know why you wouldn't, because we have one of the worst pass defenses in the country, but they go with the screen. That doesn't work. We get a sack, and that'll put them way behind schedule. So 2nd and 21. We actually called a timeout as well to stop that clock, give our offense maybe one more chance. Downfield shot, Patton's there. That one's got to be picked, but good coverage. We had Moss over the top as well. So 3rd down and 21, a minute 36. We get the stop here, and they're out of field goal range. They're going to have to punt it, and we'll have a chance to score once again. 5 receiver look with the running back as well, and that's who he goes to. He checks it down, but a great open field tackle by Moss from his safety position, and they're not into field goal range, so we called another timeout. They punted it to us. It comes out to the 20 with the touchback. Now a 2-minute drill. First pass for 18 yards to Brewer. And we dial up our favorite play, the bunch out, the bunch set, the verticals play, and Pennington's open down the sideline, and there is nobody on that side of the field. He's hitting the end zone. Easy 62-yard strike. So just when you thought it couldn't get worse for Stanford, we score again, 35-3. Spectacular half. Spectacular. Not much really to be said. We did all of our talking on the field on both sides of the ball as well. First half stats, we're dominating offensively, over 300 yards of total offense to their 128. And it's been a mix of long drives but short drives like you just saw there. So let's keep it going here. Let's put this one away. Maybe get some more time for the backups like we did last week against Utah. They come out passing and nearly another interception. Again, great close by Vince Watkins, the linebacker. So 3rd and 10. Starting quarterback's back in. And a coverage lapse on the back end. Hemphill going for the swat. He gets burned, and their receiver breaks another tackle. He's inside the 25, down inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. So a big play on 3rd and 10. What should have been an interception or just a punting situation at least turns into a big one for the Cardinal, and they have a little bit of life here to begin the second half. Now inside the red zone, Howell dropping back and throws again underneath. There's Jackson, who picks up another first down on 3rd down and just a little check down throw. So 1st and goal at the 6. Looks like a screen pass, but he can't get it off. Another sack for the Beavers. This time it is Aaron Bates, a guy who has, I think, 7 sacks on the year now. So we have so many different guys that can contribute on that D-line. It's why it's so good and so dangerous. Check down to Hunter, and a nice tackle by Bailey at the 1 to keep him short. And Stanford kicks the field goal. I wish the game was a little more aggressive, because that's a situation in which you have to go for it, in my opinion. But Stanford's defense makes a big play for him. I'm trying to figure out how to cancel the play-action pass on that so I don't have to do it. If you guys know, drop it in the comment section. We lose 5 there. We come back with a double screen, though. We got 3 guys for 3 defenders, but they mess up the blocking a little bit. We do get 11 yards, so it's better than nothing, but that could have been a touchdown potentially. 3rd and 6, levels. Y'all know how we do. We got Brewer over the middle on the in. Great read by Copeland, going through all of his progressions and getting that first down for us. Now play action. Copeland sits in the pocket. He got the post route wide open to James Parker. Great route. Nobody in the middle of the field. 27 more right there. Now let's sprinkle the run game back in. Up the middle for McConnell. He bullies ahead for a gain of 8. He ran really efficiently in this game. Got to give him credit. May not have put up huge stats, but he was getting 7-8 yards a pop, so great blocking and good running. Inside the red zone now, we call up a passing play out of the 2 running back set, and we hit Brewer underneath for a gain of 8, so we're inside the 10. And off of that, we call up power O. We get the blocks. McConnell cuts it back up inside and gets up to the 2-yard line. Now a Wildcat look, but not with Phillips. It's with 2 running backs. Motion Parker in. Fake the handoff. Hall spins, and he's in. Touchdown for Chris Hall, the backup tailback. And this baby's just about over at this point. All right, so can Stanford do anything? I think at this point we do have our backups in. Can't confirm just yet. It may still be the starters just because it's somewhat close. But Howell's got all day in the pocket. He hits a cutback route, and the receiver gets free into the second level, gets into plus territory. 31 yards. But, I don't really care how many passing yards you rack up. Another big play here, because all that I care about is the points on the scoreboard, obviously, right? So Stanford's not really converting in the red zone. They didn't really do that much in this game. Looks like they are going to punch one in here, though. Big gain on the counter, so Stanford. Gotcha, bitch. 1, we shut it down, though. We don't want to let them just get into the end zone for free. You got to earn your touchdowns against us. Outside run to the left. Nope, we got 2 guys there. We shut that down. So 2 runs for Stanford and 2 negative plays inside the 5. So 3rd and goal from the 6. This time they want to pass. We're in the zone. He checks it down, and here's Dwayne Patton high-pointing the football, and he picks it off, and he's free. 25, 30, 35, 40. He's up to midfield. He's got Jude and Moss paving the way for him. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Pick 6 for Dwayne Patton. At that point, the Boo Birds were out. I mean, those fans were not happy up at Stanford. You can't throw a pick 6 inside the 5, especially when you were up at the 1-yard line with a chance to put a touchdown in and not get back in it, but, at least put some points on the board. Defense gets another stop, so offense on the field. Our backups are in. Look at Wilson freezing the safety. Big play for Hollywood, this time in the receiving game. Let's see if Quentin Brown can bounce back, too. This quarterback threw 3 interceptions last week in garbage time against Utah. Oh, nifty spin by Dwayne Vincent, and he's pushed out at the 1. Brother, if you make a move like that, if you make a play like that, you have to freaking score. But an impressive play by the reserve wide receiver, 27 yards. And he took 2 defenders' ankles there. Got a great block from Wilson. Like I said, you got to score that touchdown. But he does get up to the 1. We bring the Wildcat in. It's Chris Hall running point, and he slowly but surely finds his way to the end zone for a score. All right, skipping ahead to under 4 minutes, 4th down and 2 for Stanford in the red zone. They call up a speed option, and we have a guy there. It's Kent Brown, and Thomas was there as well. I don't know what the heck happened to Thomas. He must have tripped on Brown because he was there to make the tackle and didn't get it. I guess the game was cheesing a little bit more, and Alston finishes it off, so Stanford does finally punch it in, but a little bit too little too late, to be honest with you. 56-13, 2 minutes to go. Backup still on the field. Actually, making the starters. I don't know why, but the game put the starting offense back on the field, and I didn't even notice until about this point. 30 seconds to go. Passing on 1st and 10, we have Parker in the seam against the cover 2, and he holds on through the contact for the garbage time 17-yard touchdown. Again, I would have rather had the backups in there, but whatever. 62-13, your final score. We go to Stanford, an absolutely dominated team that has certainly given us some trouble, been somewhat of a thorn in our side in the recent past. Copeland, again, is your player of the game. I think that's the 3rd game in a row he's your player of the game. And again, we go off in the second quarter, 28-3 in that frame. Definitely our best quarter of football this entire season is the second quarter. Player stats-wise, Copeland, 324 through the air, 4 touchdowns, including that one late there. So another big game for him. 85% completion percentage as well on that. And he had a big game on the ground as well. Brown chipped in 56 through the air in garbage time too. McConnell, 97 on the ground, 6.5 per carry. Copeland had 2 touchdowns, so he was pretty big that way as well. Receiving-wise, Pennington, our leader today, 4 catches, 6 catches make it for 115 and 2 scores. Parker had 7 for 112, as he should do with a touchdown. Brewer, 4 for 56, and then a couple of other guys chimed in. Not much going today for Edgar Haas, just 3 for 14, but you know, Pennington and Parker got the job done, so just tip your cap to them. Atkins, our leader, with 8 tackles. Anderson there as well with 7. 4 TFLs for Anderson as well. He was massive in the pass rush and stopping Stanford's run game. A sack for Williamson, 1 for Ramsauer. 2nd week in a row, the true freshman gets 1. Bates, Anderson, and a pair for Anderson. Dwayne Patton had the lone pick, which was in pick 6. And then a couple of deflections to go around as well. Probably a bunch of drop picks. That's usually how it goes. 2 for Atkins. He was the leader. Lone defensive touchdown going to Dwayne Patton on that pick 6. I think that's kind of what we were missing today. We had everything but that turnover, and we finally did get it. Not much in the return game today, but didn't really need it, so it's fine. 500 yards of total offense for the Beavers today, 382 for Stanford, so not bad. The difference was they didn't win on 3rd down, just 37% there, and they only got into the red zone 3 times, and they didn't score on one of those trips, and one of them also resulted in a field goal. So a great game, 62-13. Took care of business on the field. Now let's take care of business on the recruiting show. We'll finish up this episode with a little bit of an update here. So we have 2 spots to go. If you missed any previous recruiting episodes, please go check them out because that's where all the action happened. Justin Yancey and Phil Ham, the last 2 guys on our board, the last 2 guys we're going after, and we're looking really good on both of them. Pretty much close to locking them up. Just got to get them in on their visits. I think they're both going to come in against Washington in a couple of weeks. But let's go ahead and advance to next week and see what we got. All right, on to Cal we go. 2nd week in a row, we're playing a Pac-12 North Divisional foe, and we've already had this discussion once. The committee, the pollsters, have dropped us from number 1 to number 3, despite the fact that we're 8-0 and just blew out another Pac-12 team by 50+. Whatever. We've had this discussion previously. Like I said, I don't really want to go over it again. Notre Dame and UConn apparently are better than us, or UConn, Charlotte, whatever. We played them in the national championship last year and blew the doors off of them. We've beaten Notre Dame several times as well. So apparently the pollsters think that those 2 teams are better than us. I don't really understand why. The BCS ranking agrees with them as well. Who cares? I mean, as long as we're in the top 4, we know we're going to make stuff happen once we get to the playoff because we ain't losing this year. We got too good of a team. Our offense is just a well-oiled machine. Nobody could shut that team down, shut that unit down. And even if you put up 50 on our defense, as we've seen in that Arizona game, you still can't beat us because our offense is too good, man. So whatever. We're number 3. Pretty hurt about it, but that's just going to make us want to continue to put style points on in these games and blow every team out that appears to be on our schedule. So Cal, Washington, Wazoo, and Oregon, y'all better watch out. But on the trail here, we're pulling away in both of these races. Yancey and Ham looking really good. No commitments this week, but they'll be coming in on visits really soon, and we'll lock them up, I'm sure. And we'll finish our recruiting class completely before our probably 10th game of the season. So once signing day comes around, there's going to be absolutely nothing to do, which is great because it'll be so stress-free, and we won't really have to worry about anything. The only situation in which there would be stuff going on is if a junior goes pro, and then we might add someone to the board late. But that's way down the road. Looking at the season stats here, much of the same. Copeland, McConnell, Parker. We got the 4 top tackle leaders, as we usually do. How about the Heisman watch? All right, so McConnell's still in 3rd. He sits there this week. He's just not putting up big stats, and it's not even his fault because the teams we're playing all suck. So he's not playing in the second half of most of these games, and I'm not just going to keep him in to pad his stats, so whatever. Copeland, though, he should probably be on the Heisman watch. Player of the week in the NCAA. Player of the week for the 3rd game in a row. Player of the game for 3rd game in a row. We already went over his stat line. 6 total touchdowns, 85% completion percentage, over 300 yards passing. This is a guy that didn't even want to play for our school. He wanted to go to Army more than he wanted to come to our school. We didn't even want him, honestly, but here he is now leading our team offensively. Here's a look at the Pac-12 North Division rankings. Washington, Oregon, Wazoo, all still right there. I mean, we have not clinched this division by any stretch of the imagination. We're going to have to win these games down the road. So y'all are going to want to be here for that. We got some great games coming up after Cal. Cal's going to be kind of, whatever. They're 2-6. But once that one comes and goes, it's going to get really exciting. So this is the place to be, everybody. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit up the playlist if you missed any previous episodes, and we'll be back soon with that Cal game. See you then.